Okay. Let's try this again. Is this working now? Oh, well, the images. Oh, there we are. Okay, there we go. I'm learning a bunch of things. I've got a stream scheduled in YouTube, and so turns out that I can generate a new stream key because I can't start another stream when I have one scheduled using the original stream key. So, yes. Oh, hey, Zexelter, Tron, and Nonfam. My 3 loyal guys that are always on here. Yeah, so, and then I started a stream, and you probably saw my stream start, and I didn't have chat enabled. So, it's all growing pains for all of this new gear. So I thought I'd pop on tonight, and I got to get the I need to get my Stealthburner started. Start building. Now I'm not going to do this on a regular Sunday stream. Oh, Honor 7, hello, and 3D Medic Vince, hello, and Zixelter, hello. Oh, you've already Zixelter, hello. You were like, what's going on? I know, because I always enable chat, and I'm thinking, where the heck is my chat window? Then I just sort of, poof, I said, I probably don't have chat enabled. So I have to hit the chat, enable chat, or allow chat, and then allow chat replay, so that when the video goes after I'm finished live and it goes up on YouTube, that I can that the chat replays when people watch the video, which is okay. I don't mind that. So it's always nice to, if I want to go back and find something that somebody said in chat, it's always a good thing to do. Cody Todd, hello, how are you, sir? So yeah, so I'm going to start. I'm going to build. We're going to start real tonight because this is just an impromptu stream. Wasn't scheduled, nothing. But we have all sorts of little goodies right here. So we're going to start building the Stealthburner. So look at that. I've got all the colors printed. It's going to be a very colorful build. We got some heat insets to put in. Do I have a spare plug even? I don't know if I have a plug there. Oh, I do have a plug. I can plug my heat inset tool into. I can take this plug out for now because I do not need to power on a printer. Don't need to power on a printer. I am doing fine. I'm having an issue with one of my eyes. Actually, I only have one good eye, and it's fighting an infection right now. And so, close-up stuff like this is not bad. It's when I look any further than about 10 feet that things start to go wonky in that eye. So we're working on it. We've got drops and everything going on with it, so we'll see what happens. Ah, there we go. And I've been playing around with some different buttons on my studio and everything like that. So we're gonna this is perfect type of night and perfect type of situation to kind of just you know, play with these things and adjust these things. So this is going to be the view we're going to have for now. I can't switch the view to my display here. So this is going to, basically we're going to be following through on the Voron display. I'm not set up to go picture-in-picture yet on this, so I can't have the manual up on the screen at the same time. So we will, yeah, we'll just sort of, we'll work with it and we'll work around all this stuff. So let me go ahead and get the, get my heat inset soldering iron plugged in if I can find it. Where did I put that little sucker? I know I didn't put the whole kit back together yet. Where did I put it? Let's see. It was down, 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 down. Okay, I might have put it over on the shelf. Let's see. You know, you'd think I would have found this before I started the stream to make sure I had it. It's here somewhere. I took it apart. Yeah, it's not on here. I took this little guy apart and I put the soldering iron down somewhere. Let's just, there it is. There it is. There we go. I just had to move a box. I just had to move a box. You're driving home and it's foggy. Wow. Okay. I'm going to eyeball these. I'm going to not bother using the press I made. I want to make a smaller one. I want to do something similar to what Vector 3D, I think that's his name, did a nice little press for this. I want to make a smaller press so that I don't have that big one. Anyways, I digress. So let's grab some. Here we have our heated sets. Oh, sorry if I'm yawning. It's late for me, so. Okay, so we're going to go back to this. We've got all our little parts here. And the first part we have to put some stuff on is this guy right here. Right here. I think the color looks good. Let me just double check this on YouTube. I want to make sure my lighting's okay. I think everything's fine here. Oh yeah, that looks fine on YouTube's. Oh, that looks really good on the YouTube's. So, okay, so where this guy's heating, we're gonna put these guys in here. We got to get the Stealthburner going because I want to get this put on Sunday stream. So I want to get everything prepped for this because Sunday I'd like to finish get most of the wiring finished anyways. So we have these two to go in first. On here. Oh man, I'm yawning again. How many people are watching? 8 people. Cool. For an impromptu stream, I'm happy with that. Okay, we have a warm iron. Should I hold it like a pen? Okay, let's just eyeball these things nice and straight. I think we're going to be okay with eyeballing. There we go. I like these. Nice and slow. A little more. There we go. Okay, there's 2 of them. I don't even have a stand to put this on. I'm kind of just leaning this here. You watch, I'll end up touching or burning my hand on this thing eventually. Okay, so we have these 2. Then we have one that goes in here. Yeah, right in here. Inside of this guy here. Okay. And a little bit further. There we go. That's going to be for that little adjustment screw. I think I got to go in just a tad more. And that should be good there. And now I got to put one more in here. That's an optional one, which I am going to use because that is for the PCB board to hook onto. Although they do not mention that in here. But yeah, I definitely am going to put one right in here. And this is where I got to be careful to not melt anything. Tap kits should be in by Friday, so it won't be long till you get yours. Good, because I got some screws I need to tap. I'm kidding. I can't believe I kind of that was funny. I laughed at that. I watched a bit of that playback and I laughed at what I did there. So, hey, Andrew Humphrey, how are you, sir? If you smell chicken, stop the process. Hey, Nuno. If you smell chicken, that'd be my burning flesh. Now, I'm going to try and do this without... It's a little difficult sometimes to do this without melting here because it's very tight squeeze, but I'm going to try, see if I can get this in without affecting that part, and I think I'm okay. Oh, I hit it a little bit. Not much, so it's not bad. Okay, just a little bit there. Yeah, it's tough to get that in without actually hitting that part. And I hit that part a little bit. I should be okay. I don't think that's going to affect. Let me just make sure that's not going to affect these 2 pieces going together. Oh no, because that's out here, and then that's going to end up being up here. And then that is going to, oh no, that's just where this cover is going to come down. This cover is just going to come down over kind of like, yo, yeah, it's going to, a little bit there. Anyways, that's okay. It's really tough to get this little guy in there without bumping the iron on here, so like I just did. I'm going to clean that up a little bit if I can. Where's my knife here? Let me just, man, I could always reprint this part if I want to later, but I think this will be fine. There we go. Looks like you're going to be building rather interestingly colored salad fork. Oh, cool. That'd be cool, Andrew. Also, have you seen the LGX Lite Clockwork 2 adapter? Looks like clockwork. Man, my eyes are crazy here. Looks like Clockwork 2 outside even the cable door. No, I haven't seen that. I have not seen that. I'm smelling my iron now. I gotta get new iron. That was a real cheap one. Okay, let's see what else we have to put heat insets in. So that's this piece. We need this piece now. Put my knife away before I forget. On this one, we need to put one in here and one in here. Okay. Okay, so let's get these guys in. There we go. And then we need one in the end here. This is where the cover door screws in. Let's get this one as straight as possible. A little bit more. There we go. So we've got these ones. And on the front, we need one in here. Come on, get in there. Hey, Soonigan. Hey, Soonigan, how are you, sir? Friendship Lights, hello. Anybody else pop on that I haven't seen? Yeah. Keep my eyes up on chat every once in a blue moon. And then one down here. Come on, get in the hole. Oh, I got a piece of filament out of place there. That's why. Let me clean. Well, let me put these two in, and then I'll clean that hole up a bit. I got a little string of filament in there. Whoops. Just a little further. Okay, and now one of these needs to sit below the surface, and that's this third one. Well, that's these two of them need to sit below the surface. So this top one's going to go below the surface a little bit more. Okay, which it is. Okay, there we go. And this one, I got to clean this hole a bit. There's just a little bit of crap in that hole. Let's just see if I can get that little piece of filament out of there. That's all it was. So this one's got to sit below the hole, but this one also has a little bit of a opening on the side, so I got to just be careful when I set this one in. Why are you not going in there? There's something holding that. Something got to clean out of this hole here. Couple little burrs of filament in there. There it is. Okay. So this one's got to sit below the surface as well, just by a tiny bit. Okay, so a little lower. And that's about right. Okay. A little bit of stringing on this piece. Okay. Okay, so that's these. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have the one in the end. And then we have the 2 on this side. So that piece should be good. Hey Kit, how are you? Okay. Oh, one more here. One more right on here. And this one, heat set insert. Be careful when inserting this heat set insert. It's easy to accidentally touch the left side of the... Oh, I already did that one. That's the one I already did. Okay. Option tool head PCB. Yeah, so we're going to put this one in here. And I already did the one that says be careful. It's easy to hit the side, and I did hit the side, but it's not the end of the world. And just a hair more. We should be good. I don't want that sticking out at all. There we go. Okay. So we got that one in. And we got that one in. So the one they're talking about being careful with is this one right in here, which I was careful, but I still managed to hit the side, but that's okay. Now I need the drag chain piece. Where did I put that? Oh, that's down here. Is that in here? Let's see. No, I think that bag's on the floor. Yeah, I'll still have lots of bags of pieces here. So my question is, I printed this piece in gold, and I printed this piece in red, and I printed this piece in green. So I printed it in 3 colors. So I'm going to decide, I need to decide, just off work, about to drive home. Cool. Installing the gantry and belting up your 2.4 when you get home. Nice. Green. Andrew Humphrey says green. So we have green, red. Yeah, because I don't have any other green in the hot end. So yeah, green I think is a good choice for that one. So yeah, let's do green. Okay, cool. That answers that question. We will do green. Good call, Andrew. So on this piece, we are going this way, and we're going to put one heat inset right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and melt this guy in. And there we go. And then we have a heat inset on the top of these guys. Oh, I just noticed there's a little slot there. Okay, anyways, right. This one, we'll just do these one at a time. Let's kind of get this to the edge here. So I kind of have a semi-flat surface to hit it on. Ooh, that one went a little too deep, but that's going to be okay. I melted the plastic around it a little. That'll be fine. And this one. You don't really see this piece anyways. This has a cable drag chain kind of hiding it all. And there's that one. Okay. And that should be good. Okay, so we got the green piece. Oh, more and more and more. Okay, so now we have this guy. Oh, I put this together already because I needed to use the vise to snap that in, but that's okay. And put a heat inset on this side. Yeah, that's right here. Look at all these heat insets going in. And right here. Okay, there's that one. And then we have this little guy. Gets one on this side. Is that one of Steve's zip tie holes in the end? In the end of this piece? Maybe. Although I don't see, you can't, it doesn't go through. Oh yeah, it does go through. Oh, it goes through, but it's very narrow. I think I might have to clean that hole out a little. Let's just see. Is it gonna go through? Nah, I gotta clean that hole out a bit. Yeah, I'll have to clean that out a little bit. Here we are. So we're gonna do this one. Let's risk this one. Let's get risky here. Let's see if I can't attempt to burn my fingers with this one. Here we go. No, I don't want to do that. This one I want to go in straight because this one's kind of a critical one. Okay, there we go. That one's in. It looks like it's good and be straight enough in there. Cool. Okay, so we have that one in. Okay, Tron, take care. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate that, man. Okay, so we have that one. Now, flush with surface, which we pretty much did flush with surface, yeah. We have the accent parts, and then now, here we go. I think, let me just make sure. I think I'm done with these heat insets for now. I am. Okay, so let's turn the iron off. Let's unplug it here, and let's put it somewhere safe where I'm not going to burn myself. Oh, no, that's pretty dumb. Right up here. Let's put it just up there till it cools off. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to look at... so basically we just went through these pages here. We went through this page here, put these heat insets in, put all the heat insets in here. We did this one. We actually hit the edge here a little, but it's not the end of the world. And we got the end one in here for the PCB board that's going to be attached, and then we did the two-hole cable chain because we don't have the three. The LDO kits come with a two-hole, and then we did the for the interior of the clockwork. We did these ones here, and now we're going to get to this stage where we start to put this together, and these are kind of the steps that we're going to go through right here. And all this right here, and right here, and right here. I can't put this manual up at the same time. I apologize for that. I haven't got my, I have not got my picture-in-picture thing working yet on this system. So we will work on getting that done. So, yeah. Okay, so let's go back to. This is kind of, it's fun how I've programmed my Stream Deck and everything here. It's so cool. So if we go back to this camera here under the preview, and then I can go auto and it'll switch right to this one. And if I push this button, watch what happens. It's really cool. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Ding! And the reminders if you want to be reminded when I come live. Okay, so the next step calls to put these together. I already put these together. This is a super snug fit. I did it with a vise, and they are not coming apart anytime soon. So now I need an M3 by 16. So let's get into the old digging the screws out here again. And let's see how long it takes me to find an M3 by 16, shall we? One of these builds, one of these days when I'm building something, I'll have all my ducks in a row, and before I come on the stream, I'll have already pulled out all the screws I need for the build or for the particular section I'm in. But you know, where's the fun in that, right? And it's probably, it's a 20. I found the 12s, I found the 20s, and there's the 16s right there. It wouldn't be any fun if I had all the screws ready to go and you guys didn't watch me search for the screws when the bag that I'm looking for is right in front of my face. Okay, tolerance, extrusion multipliers, and U. The part has tight tolerance. If it doesn't fit together well, the printed parts are likely over extruded. Yeah, and they fit together extremely well. So I'm not going to complain about that. Okay. So we're going to put this, I assume, yeah, they want this in here to hold these parts together, although I don't think these parts are ever going to come apart. So, but we'll put the screw in to hold them together nonetheless. There we go. That thing is going to take a stick of dynamite to get that apart. Okay. Okie doke. And the next part we go, here we go. Now we get to do some fun stuff. So we're going to open this cool bag of gears and accessories. This is the exact same hot end that we put on the 2.4, so I'm just kind of repeating that build. Okay, I don't want to lose any parts here, so now we want the one that does not have the the grub screw hole in it. And we're going to put, now, do we talk about lubricate bearings? Okay, yeah, so lubrication film is required to ensure smooth operation and longevity. Refer to the Voron sourcing guide for the lubricant options. Okay, so let me go grab my, I'm just going to use my PTFE lube. Let me grab that. There it is. So I have some PTFE lube here. We're going to lube these bearings. They're small bearings, so it doesn't take much. One. And this one. Okay. And in there, let's put this cap on. Let's put this away. There we go. Let's wipe my fingers somewhere. That's what jeans are for. Don't worry so much. Even Nero and Steve try to organize. Never works out perfectly, but a real build is messy. It is. Oh gosh. I mean, you see the rest of my, if you look around and see the rest of my desk over, like over there, it's quite the mess there, and you know, there's messes everywhere here. Oh, sorry, Mr. Camera, I'm really messing with you here. There you go. I think you're okay there now, though. Let's just make sure I got that back on. I am not used to, oh, wrong one. I'm not used to, what am I thinking? Why is my YouTube feed frozen? I'm not used to streaming without StreamYard, where I can see my actual live stream in progress. So this guy goes, oops, don't fall out bearings. I know I lubed you, but you're really slippery and slick now. Remind you not to show your desk then. Okay, so you're up this way, and then the gear goes in this way. So you're going to snap in here, just like, oh, come on. You are going in just like so. Okay, get in. There we go. One side and two side. There we go. So that is, let's move you down just a little bit. Don't want that sticking out the ends. Ah, come on. There we go. Okay, perfect. Perfecto. Okay, and now Mind the orientation. Make sure to orient the idler assembly as shown. I got to pull the screen a little closer to me. Oh, that's much better. That way I don't have to squint. So the orientation is correct. Okay, cool. They're just double checking to make sure I am not doing anything stupid. And okay, so now on to the next page. We take our Doomer thingy handle tightener screw thing, or the thumb screw assembly if you want to be real official. And they give you a spare spring. I call LDO the spare part company. They send you lots of spares. So we have a spare spring in there. We'll just throw that off to the side for now. This guy is going to go through the back of this. There we go. And into, it was right here in front of me, right there, into this guy, like so. So that kind of slides in the slot there, and this kind of screws in there, just like so. It seems to be fitting really well. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. They already got the washer and the spring in there. So let's just see. Longer, shorter, stiffer springs will change the tension characteristics, of course. Consider buying an original Bondtech part, which we have, and those are yeah, they're just talking about the buying original Bondtech parts, and if you don't, they're talking about the, you know, what sort of a spring you should have and so forth. But we have an original Bondtech kit here, so we're not overly worried about that. Okay, next up we need our little bearings. So we got these tiny little MR85 bearings here that we're putting in. Okay, we're dealing with this guy here now. This is I like what I'm seeing on the YouTube stream here. I like this is a nice little desktop camera to be doing this close-up stuff. It's clear and crisp, and the colors are great. Oh, I still got that oil on my hands. There we go. So we'll get these two bearings out. Okay, well, they already got some lube on them. I can feel it. So this one bearing, now, check bearing fit. The bearings must slip on and off the shaft easily to allow the gear to center. So we'll check the bearing fit on this shaft. I've never had a problem with these yet, but we'll just check it. And if I can get my hand, so that slid on easy and it slid off easy. Let's just check this end. Yeah, that's not a problem with getting on that at all. Okay, yeah, so we got good movement there. Okay. Lightly sand the shaft if required. We don't need to, and that's why they send a couple pieces of sandpaper here. If you do have to sand that shaft at all, I've not had to sand one of these shafts down yet, so we're good. Fully seat the bearing into the plastic pocket. Apply even pressure to insert them and avoid pressing on the inner ring of the bearing. If the fit is too tight, the printed parts are likely over extruded. So let's just see how well this fits on the inside here. I know it's a snug fit. And if the part is over extruded, shame on me, and it very much could be, but you know, I would never make it into the PIF program. Okay, let's just see. Not that it's going to make a difference switching bearings, but yeah, this is tight. Good lighting too, thank you. Okay, let's, now this one here, I used, if I can get it started with my thumb pressure, then I used, get lined up there, now then I used a, what was it I used before that was flat? I could use anything, even the blade of my knife like this. some good pressure. There we go. And we got to seat that all the way. So I'm going to still use the blade of the knife there. That covers, and that way we're not pushing on the inside of that bearing. So we'll do that, and then I will push down on that with anything. There we go, just to get that in there, seated nice and flat. And it is not coming out. So just a little bit more. Let's use the end of this. There we go. So that bearing is in there, nice and flat. Not going anywhere. You're going to use the tools you have at hand. Okay, so now that was that one. And then the next page talks about the other bearing, which is going to go into this part right down in here. And I always have quote-unquote fun putting this one in. I believe I used a tweezer last time. I have 4 pairs of tweezers. And 4 pairs of tweezers, and do you think one of them is handy? Let's see. Actually, maybe I'll use this and be very gentle. I'll use my foresnips, or whatever these are called. I'll go in the middle of the bearing like that, and I'll push it down through. Oh, the only thing is these freaking things are magnetic. Okay, and now I'm going to see if I can't. Okay, bearing fit, fully seat the bearing inside the plastic pocket, apply even pressure. Yeah, okay. This one, if I'm not mistaken, what I used before was the end of one of my Wera keys. The larger end, which I think was the pink one. Let's just see if that might be too big. Oh, I think this will work. There we go. There we go, and then fully seated. And then I'll just make sure, yeah, I didn't damage the, just making sure I didn't push down in the center at all. And I'm going to make sure this is seated, yeah, because basically the end of this ball is basically the same size as the outside of that whole bearing. So there we go. So that bearing is now seated in the bottom of that. So there we go. I'm sure there's tools out there for seating bearings, but hey, when you don't have them, you use whatever's available. Okie doke. Next. Oh, the M3x6 flathead screw. M3x6 flathead screw. I believe that is a limited number of those too, so that might be one that I have to dig for a minute. M3x6. Let's have a peek. M3x6 flathead. There we go. Found them. So this little guy, what this does is this is a little adjustment screw that you can adjust to play with the tension of on your extruder. So this is, I think, something that they added to the clockwork too. So this just goes in here, and what this does is this will prevent this, when it's on, from going too tight. So in other words, from putting too much pressure on your filament it's going through. And there's a little hole right through this that you actually put your that's tight. You may have to ream that out a bit, because that hole doesn't have to be any particular tightness or tolerance, but that's where you put your thing through to adjust that screw when it's on there, but we pre-adjust that to begin with before the assembly is complete anyways, and when the motor's on. So hopefully that doesn't have to be adjusted, but every once in a while you do need to adjust that, or possibly you could. So that'll just sit. I'll just kind of put that in, I don't know, maybe about 3/4 of the way to start. Okay, now we are going to torque these and this, and I need a set screw, or as some people like to call them, grub screws. And again, you can kind of see all of the grub screws that come from the LDO kits are pre-treated with Loctite, so which is really cool, because Loctite can be messy stuff, especially in my hands. Let's grab, is this 1 or 2? This is going to be 1. That's a single grub screw, so we'll just grab one of these out. Actually, these little guys will come in handy for grabbing tiny pieces like this. Although, of course, they're all going to come out. Come on, just one. No, just one. There it is. Whoops, they're sticking to the tip of that. Okay, now that is going to require my tiniest hex key. Oh man, is that the right opening? Is that the right one? Yeah, it is right there. Okay, there we go. And we will get this started. Get in there. Get in the hole. There you go. Okay, good. And we don't want that to poke through too much yet. Okay, so we got that started. So now, this is where we're looking right here. Oh, not quad view, I want the display. So right now we're at this stage here. So, so basically poorly made gears can often cause print quality issues, of course. For the best performance, original Bondtech parts. These are all original Bondtech parts. So we are going to start with an initial position of 15.6. Chances are that this will have to be adjusted because we've got to make sure that it lines up with, we're going to make sure that when all's said and done that it lines up with this one. So, but we will go with the initial setting, as they say, of 15.6. So we're going to slide this on here, and on this little guy here there is a flat cutout spot. You can kind of see a flat cutout spot there, which is where you want the grub screw or the set screw, whatever you want to call it, to kind of line up. So your set screw is going to be in there. So we know we're going to be in that area somewhere. So I'm going to just slide this on, notch that down a little bit so that we've actually caught our, so it's not going to slide off the end. And let's get our calipers, and they're suggesting 15.6 millimeters. So let's go 15.6. Okay, 15. Oh, don't sneak on the one there. 15.6 millimeters we have there. Okay. And that is from the gear itself to the actual middle of the filament path, which is right about there. So I'm just gonna snug that down a little bit there, and I'm gonna double check my measurement, and we are pretty much bang on the 15.6. We can do it this way too. Oh, we might want to bring it out just a hair more. I can visualize this now that I've seen it. I want to make sure that I'm still on that flat spot, which I am. And so I'm going to guesstimate about right there. So let's try this once more. And that's pretty much, so if we look, you can kind of see that that's pretty much, I might forget the right view, that's pretty much bang on towards the middle of that. Anyways, that's going to be close enough. We're going to adjust that again later anyways, so I'm not going to get too anal about that. They think about everything. They do. So we'll snug this set screw up a little bit. There we go. I don't want to over tighten it right now. That's nice and snug in there. Okay. They talk about thread locker, and they talk about making sure that the set screw is seated against the notch, which it is, and then and carefully tighten the set screw. Yes, the heads are easy to strip, but that's what I like about these Wera hex keys, is that they have this kind of an anti-strip tip to them here, so they're pretty cool. Familiarize yourself in the next 3 steps, next 3 pages before you apply thread locker. Complete the steps in the next 3 pages after applying the thread locker. Well, thread locker is already applied on these things, so I'm not overly worried about that. So the next step is we stick this in this guy here, like that. So he goes in here. There we go. I was going to say, why are you wobbly now? You're rubbing. There's a little spot there. Where are we rubbing? Oh no, it's because I wasn't holding it flat. When I go flat and turn, we feel like nice and smooth. Okay. And then we take this guy. Okay, hang on. And then we're going to... Okay, hang on 1 second here before I go too far. Did I miss something back here? No, we haven't inserted that piece yet. Back up here. Oh yeah, okay, good. Okay. This is just sort of a pre-alignment stage here, so we're going to pop this in. That'll line up with that. There's a mark up there it lines up with, and then it lines up down here. Like that, and like that. So this is in here, and this is rotating smoothly. And I can already tell right now that that's way off of the filament path, but that's okay. We're going to adjust that. So, oh, hang on, maybe I haven't got this fully seated, that's why. There we go. Now we're fully seated, and it is still off, but that's okay. So yeah, we did, even though we did the measurements, I don't know if it's hard to see in there, but you can kind of see that gear is going to have to move because it is definitely off of the filament path. You can see the notch where the filament's going to come through, and so that gear has got to come to the left a fair bit more there. So we'll worry about that in the next step here, because we're going to take a piece of filament and run it through. So we're going to take some M3 by 25s. This is just a preliminary lining up step here. We're just going to follow, I could move it now, but I'm going to follow the instructions to the T. Well, yeah, I never follow instructions to the T. M3 by 25s. They can't be hard to find. They're probably already out of the bag, no? M3 by 25s, M3 by 20s. Come on. It's got to be these. M3 25s. Good. It's got to be these. What's this bag for? That's the... I don't need that bag anymore. Okay, M3 by 25s. 2 of them. So we're going to come through this one. And we're going to... that one. Okay, and then the other one's going down right here. So with these snugged up, now that we know these are all together, now we do the alignment check. Okay, I'm going to number 1 make sure that we have movement on there, which we do. Okay, now we do the alignment check. So as I showed you earlier, if we look in here, we're definitely out of alignment. I've got this held the other way now. Hey, Steve Builds, I am having fun. So yeah, you can see that even with the initial setting that they suggest, that's way off. That's like 1.5 millimeters or 2 millimeters off. So I'm going to have to move that gear over to the right. So let's go ahead, and I can do that without taking this apart. So we'll loosen this off, and we will move it down right about, oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Right about there. Yeah, right about there. That looks good. So we'll snug this up. Come on, get in the hole. Come on, turn. We're going to pop this apart again anyways, but I just want that there, snug that up a little bit there. So now if you look, I don't know if I'm holding it upside down again. Yeah, I think you can see it right there. So now you look, that's much better. That's lined up a whole lot better. Hopefully you're seeing what I'm seeing. Hey, Teza. Oh, Teza, I already said hey, Teza. So yeah, that's lined up a whole lot better right there than it was. So yeah. So yeah, and that's different. I mean, I know that definitely the last one I built, that was even in a different position, because the last one I built, it was closer to the actual black gear on the last one. So they different. That's why you got to do that check. Okay, so I'm not going to run, I don't need to run filament through yet, so we did check that. Now we're going to throw a piece of filament. Yeah, they want me to insert a piece of filament, which, do I have any filament? I don't know if I have any filament. I'm just kidding. Let me go grab a piece. Did that not go? Let me go grab a piece of filament. Got to be a roll. Got to be a spare piece of filament sticking out of something somewhere here. I don't know. Here, let's cut a piece off this. Cut a piece off the Prusa. This roll's almost empty, anyways. There we go. So, oh, get back. I haven't dropped anything tonight, and I don't intend to. So we run this filament down, so it goes right through. And what we're looking for is, if I switch the cameras, that would help. So what we're looking for is right there, that filament path, and making sure that that is lined up with that gear, which is pretty much, if I want to be anal about it, I could move it I don't know, I could move it a little wee bit more, and I might just do that. Because you can kind of see that it's, whoops, I can see a little bit of the teeth to the right of it there, so yeah. So anyways, so maybe, do I want to, yeah, I'm gonna be the anal one that moves that just that little bit more. And having the filament in there now will give me, actually no, see, when I turn it, I'll depend. There's a tiny bit of play in there, so no, I'm not going to worry about it, because there is a tiny bit of play in there with the filament path. So no, I think that's going to be fine. I'm not going to bother changing that. So we're good with that. There's being anal, and then there's being super anal. So now check for clearance. So the drive shaft must not touch the motor housing. Make sure it does not sit above the surface of the printed part. So what they're talking about there is that this drive shaft right here, they want to make sure that the shaft coming through is not sitting above the printed part. And if we look kind of like that angle there, we can see that there's actually nothing sticking above that surface. So we are good for that. That's another one of the cautions that they're mentioning here. You want a customized anodized SF frame. Nice. I like winning stuff. I don't win stuff much. Okay, depending on the shaft's tolerance, you may need to adjust the position of the drive gear. No, I'm going to sand the face of the shaft. No, we are good. We are all good in that aspect. So now we are going to put in the tension arm. So I think I do need to, I need to take this apart a little bit to put the tension arm in? Yeah, I think I do. I think I do. So we're just going to loosen these guys off. We can pop the tension arm in. Actually, I'm just going to take this apart. It'll be easier if I just take it right apart. I want to snug up that set screw anyways on that gear. So I'm just going to, now that this is in the right position, I just want to give this a little bit of a snuggle. There we go. And that does have Loctite on it already. As I say, LDO does that automatically. So tension arm we can slide in. Supposedly quite easily. There we go, there's our tension arm. Okay, and then we don't need the duck yet, although I should put the duck in it. There's our duck. Okay, and then just making sure that there's decent movement here, which there is. There's good movement right there. I don't know why I did the interior colors, parts all different colors, but hey, what the heck, it's fun. Okay, so we have that in place. So let's go ahead and put this back on. Yeah, the duck is just getting in the way right now. There we go. Making sure that that bearing was lined up and we're good. We're not hindered here at all. We have our tension arm on here. We can loosen that off somewhat. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we need another M3 by 25. The tensioning arm must move freely. Tightening the bolt may lock it in place. Yeah, I learned that from my last one, so we're going to go through the tensioning arm. If it lines up, let me just make sure that I've got the good clearance on this hole. No, I don't. I may have to just ream that out a little bit. Yeah, let me just ream that a little. So yeah, this was probably a little over extruded when it was printed. But nobody's going to judge me for my over extrusions. Is that the right? That's the right one. It's hard on the fingertips sometimes, just using your fingers as a drill handle. Especially when you have a nice it's slipping in my fingers. Especially when you have a nice new sharp drill bit. Tips. Oh, my fingers are tough. I've got they're calloused from many other a project. So and I have a drill sitting like just over on my shelf. I could have actually just used a drill, but hey. There we go. There's no fun in that. It's more fun to watch me maim my fingers. But they've been around the block a few times. Okay. That's better. All these other holes are fine. It just seems to be the odd piece I find where I have to clean up the hole a little. So let's slip you back in here. There you go. And this should go through no problem now, as long as you're lined up there. Are you lined up? Why are you being so difficult? You are lined up. Well, we'll just screw it in, and it'll kind of self-align. What other hobbies am I into? Well, I used to be into scuba diving a lot. I am a certified scuba dive instructor, a master scuba diver trainer. I'm an instructor in many specialties, including ice diving, etc. But I haven't dove in a long time since the pandemic and our dive shop here closed down. So, I do some CNC stuff, which I'm going to actually be doing on the channel eventually. Okay, we don't want to tighten this too tight. Let's just go to the tight, and we'll back it off a hair and make sure we still have good movement here, and we do have good movement here. Good. And I've got free movement there, no problem at all. Okay. Yeah, and I'm into, like, this is my main hobby for the most part. I enjoy, as I say, I do some laser engraving, some CNC stuff. My full-time job keeps me busy, which is a printing and sign company. Yeah, I've got all kinds of different things that I'm into. Where are we? Okay, this one here. I guess I should put this back together. Where's my other screw? Where'd my other screw go? There's a screw on the loose. Don't think it hit the floor. I'll just borrow another one. Or was it there already? No, it wasn't. It was, which one am I looking for? Well, that is the one I was looking for. What am I talking about? Those are the only two I need for now. Hey, Shadell, how are you, sir? Have I ever made any dive prints? Dive prints? No, 3D prints for diving? No, I haven't, actually. Well, I've done 3D printed parts for friends for different, like one guy needed a GoPro mount for his electric underwater scooter type thing, they call it. This is snug, but I think that's okay. As long as we can lock it in, and then we can, when we release it, that might be a little, I wonder if the tolerances there are a little too tight. I may have to fiddle with that after, but we'll see. But yeah, I've designed and printed a few pieces for friends for some of their scuba gear, but it's nothing that's actually used underwater as far as safety parts go, because you got to be really careful with that stuff. Okay, I'm a little... I'm not happy with how unfreely this is moving, but I might be okay. We'll see. I haven't had a problem with these before, so now we're going to put the duck in. And the duck gets screwed in with a M3x25 again, of course. Am I missing a... Oh no, I'm not. I thought I was missing a heat insert, but I'm not. I am not missing one. So we'll get... No, I better check the duck's hole. I better check the duck hole and make sure that I can... No, the duck hole's fine. The duck hole is fine. I miss diving though, I really do. I got a little bit of a... There we go. Make sure that's gonna... Oh yeah, we're good. I kind of miss it though. I problem right now with it is I doubt I'll ever teach again, and the reasoning is I don't have a shop I'm working out of anymore, and it's so expensive to get the insurance now. The instructor's insurance has gone up so much. Why are you not tightening? Why are you? That's an M325. You are not nearly long enough to go through there. Is that an actual? Oh, that's a. You know why? It would help if I took a 25 instead of a 16. The 16 bag was right in front of where the 25 bag was, and I swear somebody moved it on me. So yeah, I've got all my gear, kept everything. I still have my dry suit, all that, and I'll dive again someday. I just don't know when. We'll see. But just for recreational purposes only, so from now on. Because you have to have the insurance to teach, and we're speaking $300 to $400 to $500 for insurance. And you can't make that back in teaching. It's just, you don't make that much money teaching. Okay, we pull that down, pull it in, and do we lock? And we lock in. Okay, there we go. And unlock, there we go. It's stiff, but it's just because that pulls it loose, that pulls it in, and lock. There we go. And unlock. That'll work. That'll work its way in. I could actually even put a little bit of soap in here, and it would lubricate it a bit. No, I don't think I want to do that. This works, but that'll eventually loosen itself up, like my other one did. Okay. So we are good there. I'm going to double check while I'm at this stage. If I find my filament, I'm just going to make sure my filament works. Sweet 16. No one gets into teaching for money. I come from a long line of teachers. Yeah. And we still have a nice clean filament path, even with this locked in. Let's lock this in. We are still pretty good. Actually, that's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. Once we get the motor on, we'll figure out something different. Oh, that's tight. That is tight. Okay. Okay, let's move along. Did I get that? Yeah, I get that in the right spot. And so anti-squishing thingamajig. So that's what they call. So that little screw I told you, that is right through this hole. That little screw that I said, you adjust so that you're not tightening too tight on your filament. Yeah, the official name for it, as you can see right here, is an anti-squish thingamajig. So softer and flexible materials will deform and extrude poorly under too much tension. Clockwork 2 added an adjustment feature to set the minimum distance between the drive gear and the idler, limiting the squish on the filament and to prevent the gears from meshing too tightly and binding up the extruder. And they call it the anti-squish thingamajig. So I love the name. So that's what that is. And as I said, you take your wrench, your tool, whatever, you shove it in and you find that screw. It's not easy to find. Then you can loosen it, which would, if you loosen that screw out and pull it out, it's going to prevent that thing from putting too much pressure on. You can tighten the screw and it will allow a little bit more pressure. I kind of have it, like, as I say, 3/4 of the way in. And I find that's a good place to start, but again, there's a way to tension that and tighten it, but once you get the motor on, you're going to get a feel for the filament path, and that's where we'll kind of do the fine-tuning of that. And that's why you're a computer technician at school. Okay, Now we get to the stepper motor, which I happen to have right here handy. So this is a NEMA 14 stepper, and this guy here is a 1.8 degree 36 millimeter pancake stepper. Woo! Okay, now we're going to need M3 by 30, and I know I saw that one. M3 by 30. I'll hopefully get my picture-in-picture working sooner than later so that I can have dual images on the screen. So you can see my ugly mug as I'm working, although, hey, my hands do all the talking. Pancakes, yes. Okay, M3 by 30, so... And then we're going to need a washer and yada 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 here. So in the back of this, we are looking on the back, and we're going to put this guy through here, like so. And it sticks out just that little bit. Oh, my holes all have little bits of filament remnants in them. Let me push this back through just quickly. Clean out that hole. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I want to just double check the orientation of the cabling on this now. If I'm not mistaken, the motor is going to go, we're going in here like so. Let me think about this for a minute. No, this cable's got to come up this way, or are we coming down this way with it? We are coming down because the PCB board is going to be right here. I believe, and this is going to be plugging in down. I'm trying to remember which way, whether that wire faces down or whether that wire is facing that way. Oh, I think it's that way. I think it's that way. They don't really, let me just look and see. Don't tighten, blah, 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 access hole, gear meshing, tighten when done, click. Yeah, they don't really show where the wires are coming out. I have to remember. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's this way. I can always change that. I'm not overly concerned. I can change that up. But I think this is right. Okay, so we have this one. I'm not tightening this one yet, because what's going to happen now is there's a little bit of play in this. We have a slotted hole here, which allows a little bit of play in the motor so that we can actually just adjust the motor so that we're not pushing too tight on that gear and we're not so loose that we're skipping mesh. So so for the second part, and I'll just kind of share where we're going with this. So we just did this part here, and as I see, they're not really showing where the wiring's coming out, but I think I got it right. So we put that M330 inside. Now we're going to put a M38 with an M3 washer into that slotted hole, and then there's an access hole for tightening it up. So let's go ahead and find the M38 and the washer. M38, I think, is the bag of a bunch of them. Yes, it is. A whole bunch of them, because that's one of the more popular screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them. Some people call them bolts. I call them screws, although they really technically are bolts, because a screw has a pointy end and screws into things. A bolt usually works with a nut, and it's working with me, so there we go. Proof is in the pudding. I need an M3 washer, which I'm bound to have somewhere here. I have everything but, okay, this is where I start pulling the bags out because the washers are small. I thought I saw it, I didn't. Okay, let's find there, and yeah, it figures, no washers. It doesn't mean they're not here, it means that they are somewhere else, which is when everybody says, well, pretty good observation, Captain Obvious. I have one more spot. I have some screws right in here. For some reason I have a box down here with some more screws and stuff, and There's some M5's precision spacers. Where's my washers? Where are my washers? M3 washers. There we go. I knew I had some. I kind of got all my my spares mixed up with my regular parts now, so it doesn't matter though. Parts are parts. You're hearing tea, pancakes, and pudding. Okay, we just need one washer. So on this one, we're gonna take this. We're gonna take this guy. I'm going to put him on here. We're gonna go through the access hole. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So I got to come through this way through the access hole. Okay. We'll slip this washer on. Like so. Whoops. And we'll come through the slotted hole. We'll find the motor and we'll screw it onto the motor. There, and we're not going to tighten it up right now, so we want that little bit of play right here until we get this figured out. So now we get into the next part. Okay, where they say set gear meshing. So this is a critical part, so I'm going to read it. Adjust the stepper motor position so that the motor and the extruder gear teeth fully mesh, overlap with each other. There should be very small gap between the faces of the gear teeth. The gears must not press tightly against each other. That'll cause binding. Okay, and check gear play. The gear should have slight play and should not be fully tight against the pinion. Adjust the position of the motor until you have faint play. Tighten when done. Don't forget to tighten the second motor bolt after adjusting. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward stuff. So what we're going to do is we are going to, with my finger on this guy here. So right there I got no meshing at all of the gear. Okay, so I'm going to lower this slightly. I can feel the play in there, but there's too much play. I'm going to lower it slightly more. Okay, there's less play. Oops, I'm out of the camera view, sorry. There's less play. I'm going to lower it slightly more. Now there's just a little bit of wiggle, a little bit more. It's a fine-tuning thing. There we go. And okay, right there, there's no play at all. So we're just going to tap that just a little bit. There we go. Now we got, it's hard to see, but now we got just a tiny, tiny little bit of play going on in there. Yeah, that angle's good there. And that's kind of what we want. So now we're going to come through and tighten this one up where they mesh, and then we're going to go back on this side and tighten this one up. And then I'm going to double check that there's just that tiny little bit of play there. And there's not, so something loosened there. So we just got to do this again. So we're going to loosen this guy, and we're going to come back in here, loosen this guy. Sometimes when you tighten these things up, they shift. So we'll do that again. So we're going to back that off just a hair. Oops, I didn't loosen it enough, obviously. There we go. I'm going to give it a little bit more play than I did before, because I think what's happening sometimes, as I say, when you tighten it back up, it shifts. There we go. So we'll snug it back up again and see what happens. There we go. Now we got that tiny, tiny bit of play. And we'll tighten this side up. Where is it? I'm getting confused where I am. There we go, and snug this one up. And now we still have a tiny little bit of wiggle, which means they're not too tightly meshed and they're not too loosely meshed. So there we go. We've got testing tomorrow at school. Got to hit the sack. Good night. Okay, thanks for popping in, Andrew. I appreciate that. Good luck with your tests tomorrow. I know you're going to rock it, man. You will. Okay, so now we can move. The motor moves no problem. Yeah, everything moving smoothly in there. I'm just going to do, they don't say to do this, but I like to do this just because. I'm going to throw a piece of filament in there. Let me lock this down. Throw a piece of filament in. There we go. And there's nothing behind. You can hear the gears. You can hear the motor. It's nice and snug, but there's nothing holding it. There's nothing. I can actually even probably, if I loosen this off just a bit. Yeah, that's not bad. We're good. Okay. More on that after. Okay, so now it is time to put on the funky green cable chain holder doomer thingy. So we need an M3 by 20, M3 by 30, M3 by 25. Let's find the bolt game. M3 by 20. Here we go. Okay. So this guy goes in through this hole, and he goes into okay, do I have, oh, let's see, this is where I think, okay, this is where I know that I have the, or do I? Hang on a second here. We're up here, we're coming off here. No, I think I'm still okay with the motor wire, I hope. Okay, I think I am. We'll see, we'll find it. I'll know when I go to put the rest of it together. This goes on here, and then there's another screw that's coming in the back here, which is a M3 by 8, and that's the big bag right here. Come on. I always have trouble opening these little Ziplocs. Okay. So this guy comes in right through the back here into that threaded insert. Okay, and that's tightened up, and this is tightened up. And then that's where your cable chain anchors to. That's going to bug me if this is in the wrong spot. I think this is in the right spot. Yeah, because the PCB gets put on here, and this is going to go on the PCB, and if it was coming out of here, yeah, I think I'm positive I have this in the right spot. Anyways, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Anyways, there's the clockwork. Clockwork 2. I believe that's the end of the clockwork 2. Oh, not quite. Open the latch. M3 by 16. Oh, because we've got to open the latch here. And we're going to put an M3 by 16 through. Let me see. Oh, I see. It's for the cover. Okay, so we're putting an M3 by 16 through for the cover. So we have an M3 by 16, and this is going to push straight through. There's like an access hole that pushes straight through here. Oh, tell me that hole is not need. Is that another one? Just seems that one blue part needs a little bit of reaming on this, on these holes. So let's just ream this hole out a little bit. There's a reamer. And that was this guy right here. Oh, it's not so bad. Oh, this might not be able to do this with my hands. I may have to get my drill. I'm going to grab my drill. It's just too hard on my hands. Oh. Oh, great. I have this cool little drill. Yeah. I need to find the charger, obviously. So, yeah. Okay, well, I was just about to say something I would have regretted saying. Let me try this way. This hole just didn't quite get enough clearance. Drill bit, stay there. A hand chuck, yes. Actually, that's a good idea. Did that fix it? That gave me the clearance. Yeah, I should actually. They can't be that expensive for a hand chuck for one of these things. So, yeah, that's all right. We got it. This 2.5 millimeter hex key happens to be the exact right size for the. Happens to be the exact right size for those holes, so I can ream that in and clear a hole with that as well. Okay, so now we can put this in, put that screw through. That just seems long. M3 by 16. M3 by 16. That just seems long, but is that, now that's not a 16. Come on, that's longer than a 16. No, or is it? Is that a 16? I see a few different sizes in there. I have this handy dandy measuring guide. That is a 16. Holy cow. It's nice to have one of these around your shop, especially if you're doing builds like this. One of these little gauges for measuring the size of it, length of your bolts. So that was from I'm trying to remember the name of those kits again. The Gridfinity. That's from the Gridfinity kits. Okay, well, you want a 16. You're going in as a 16, and then you're screwing in. I still think it's, maybe that's not too long, I guess. Then, so we're threading in. Now this is for the cover. And this is the cover printed. This cover, there's two covers. There's one for PCB board, and there's one for not a PCB board. So this is the PCB board cover. So we have that in. We're going to, don't over tighten. This bolt is threaded directly into plastic. And so we are just going to just kind of get this started. Here we go. There we go. So thread it into plastic. Okay, I'll just keep threading. Oh, my clock just went dum dum dum. That's my bedtime reminder. I have it set for quarter to 11 every night. How long have I been streaming? It doesn't say. Oh, an hour and 28 minutes. I should turn my camera and show you guys my new setup here. Okay, I gotta get this. Oh, there, we're tight. Now we're just back it off a hair. There we go. Look at that. We got like a yellow and gold combination with the green, and then we're going to have the red. We're going to have the blue. I mean, this is going to look cool. Okay, so there's that. And then this is tucked in with an M3 by 6. Good luck finding an M3 by 6 in this mess. It'll be here. At least I know it's a short one. M4 by 6. It's M3 by 8. M4 by 6. Oh, tell me M3 by 6. Oh, this is a flathead. They want a button head, but why not a flathead? Okay, I'll use a button head if you insist, Voron. If I can find an M3 by 6. They're here. It's probably right in front of me. And then the other place you got to check too is on these trays. You got to check the bottom of these trays because they tend to hide screws. Where are my M3 by 6s? Well, there is an M3 by 6, I am sure that, oh no, that's an 8. Let's just have a peek and see. Is that a 6 or an 8? That's an 8. So, Okay, well, oh, bottom of this, no. No. Okay, one more place to look. Not giving up. That's in this box. Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, I'm sure they're here somewhere. No, okay. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to, where did I just see it? Where did I just see those? I'm going to cheat. Don't tell anybody I'm cheating. And this piece doesn't, I just dropped my first part for the night. I'm going to cheat and put an M3x6 for now, just so this is all assembled. I'm going to cheat and put an M3x6 flathead. Don't tell anybody. And this screws in, this is actually screwing into a threaded insert, so there we go. So yeah, that's there. I just put a flathead for now. That's just temporary till I find my M3x6 button heads. So yeah, because that's not sitting very well. That's why it doesn't want a flathead, because it's got that taper on it. Anyways, doesn't matter. This doesn't have to be screwed closed right now anyways. We're going to be getting under there anyways for the PCB. I'm still thinking, this one came with a single PCB. I still may do a 2-part PCB on this one. I put a 2-part PCB on the 2.4, and I really like that, so that you can pop the head off without having to worry about the wires. So I'll probably end up doing that for this one as well. I think my local guy is going to have that in stock. Okay, we'll go for about another 10 minutes. I've access hole, we've done that. Now we're on to the hot end. Ooh. Oh, we got to do more heat insets. Why didn't they tell me that when I had the iron out earlier? Okay, well, let's go ahead and get some heat insets put into these. We'll see how far we can get on this hot end. We'll continue tomorrow night, whatever we don't get done tonight. We'll get the heat insets put in. I'll go for about another 10 minutes. I'll give you guys a quick tour of what I've got going on here in my new gear. That looks pretty standard. Yeah, okay. Because I still have to wire up the LED, the rainbow barf LED. So that's going to be a whole... That's going to be fun to wire that thing up. It is puny, tiny, tiny puny. Okay, so we need some heat insets here. So this is going to heat up. Let's heat that up. Come on. And let's get our heat inset tray. Steve, again, thank you for this idea. I know it wasn't yours, but I saw this idea on your stream. This thing is brilliant. So anyways, so we need 4 heat insets on this. One there. One guy here. This guy, come on. This guy and this guy. Cool. Are we hot yet? Not quite. Getting there. Meantime, for those of you that are on here that didn't see the electronics on this, we got that far on the electronics on Sunday. Oh, look at that. That's pretty sweet looking, actually. All the motors are plugged in. The electrical is started. We've got, yeah, we made it a long way on Sunday. A lot of progress. And look at the colors. I love the colors of this thing. It's so colorful. It's beautiful. Yeah. Anyways, let's go back down to where we were. to the way we were. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, we should be hot enough now. Let's go ahead and do these. Well, maybe we're not hot enough, but we're going in slowly but surely. I know, don't call me Shirley. There we go, and that one went in a little too far. I'm not going to cry about it. If I have to print another part, I will. No, that should be fine. Okay. 2. Not quite. 3, and so these 2 are for the optional PCB mount, which I am putting in. And I think we're good. We're good. Just a hair more here. And we're good. So I think that's all the inserts I need for this. So let's power that off, unplug that, cool you off. Okay. Find my mouse. Missing corner, CW1, CW2. We also provide the tool cartridge parts. Okay, I'm interesting what they're saying here. Identifying the printed parts. The hot end type is embossed on the printed parts, which we know. So this hot end type is a PORG. A PORG. It's a PORG. Which means, where is my hot end actually? Right here. We have a dragon. We have a high flow. We're putting on this. We're putting on a high flow dragon. Now, how PORG? Oh, PDRG. I thought that said ORG. That says PDRG. I'm gonna say I don't have an org hot end. That's a dragon, Thaddeus dragon. And so we got the high flow dragon. I'm just reading the missing corner. CW1, CW2. We also produce tool cartridge parts for Clockwork 1 and other. They're identical except for an opening in the highlighted corner to help wire routing to those designs. Okay. I think we are okay with the part that we printed. I'm pretty sure. So if we look at it this way, I'm getting all mixed up here. Where's that stamp on here that says dragon? Right there. And this corner here. Oh, I see what they were talking about there. Anyways, we're good. We did print the right part, so I'm not worried about that. You just finished doing your 2.4 wiring using Wagos. You found clips that mount to the 2.4 power supply using... I love the Wagos. The Wagos are great. We use Wagos under the bed on this. I've never used them before. They are awesome. Okay, let's open the dragonfly, or the dragon. I have a dragonfly as well, so let's open the dragon. Let's get this camera right about there so that I have room to work here. There we go. So open the dragon. And if I don't like this, I do have a Revo I can put on it later. Oh, this is fancy schmancy. It opens kind of like a ring box. Oh, like this. There we go, like that. Ooh, love the packaging. Okay, we'll put that aside. We will open this up and look at this beauty. I said, look at this beautiful hot end. Look at that. That is sweet looking. So, not that you all have not seen one of these before, but hey. So we got to do a bit of work on it. And it comes with a, I'm not sure what kind of a nozzle that is. I think it's just it looks like a plated nickel nozzle or a plated brass. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, so we need to take off. Oh, they're showing instructions for the Revo. But I know for a fact on this one we have to remove the top. Now I'm not sure on this one. Where's my 4 snaps? Right here. Let's pull this part out. Okay. I'm pretty sure on the other one, on the other dragonfly I used. Okay, I see. So this is screwed into the top with 2 little set screws right there and right there. So I have to undo those to pop that off, because we're only going to use basically from this part down. Okay, so I think that's going to be my, I think this is too small. Oh no, that's the right size. There we go. That come right out. And this side, I've never used one of these before, so I'm assuming that I have to undo these, which I do. Yeah, that's going to pop that off right there. Some things are just common sense. So that part, we don't use this part. I don't think we need, yeah, we might need these screws. I'm going to leave them just up here. Oh, sure. Drop that right where it's going to be hard to get. And I'll put this one in here. And that's it for that one. I'll worry about the, no, I do need to actually, we're going to need to put the cabling and everything in beforehand. Yeah, that's going to fit. Cool. I don't know if I want to start, we're at 11 o'clock. I think I'm going to, because I still got to put the thermistor and the hot end, the heater in, and get this all done, and the nozzle, etc. We won't hot tighten the nozzle, of course, until we get it on the printer and we get things going, but I don't know if I want to get into that. Right now it's 11 and I don't want to go too late, so I may continue this tomorrow. Well, not I may, I will continue this tomorrow. But basically, this is going to be nice. I'm liking the look of this. I love this. I've never used a high flow hot end before, so that's something different. So that's going to sit in there kind of like so. Oh, look at that. And the word Fadius just proudly displayed here. Perfect. The printable ones, or a part you buy. The Meanwell covers. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, well, if I go back, actually, before I go back to this one, I wanted to show you guys. So, the setup I'm using now, let me hit this button because it's fun. I like watching that play. The setup I'm using now is, before I forget, there, I'm going to pull this screw out of there. So if I pull this camera over, so basically how I'm running right now, and it looks confusing and it looks messy, but it's really not. So we have a mixer here that we use for our audio. So this is where the microphone's plugged in. I have a Rode, where I'm not pointing it. I have a Rode shotgun mic that my friend Richard Cleveland gave me. Beautiful microphone, works well. So that's plugged into the mixer, okay? And then the mixer then goes to the, whoops. Why? Oh, this thing is being a real dink here, this thing here. So the mixer then goes down to the A10 Mini Pro, which I have, which is basically an input for cameras and displays, etc., etc. So right now I have 3 cameras. Number 1 is my computer, basically my OBS feed. Number 2 is my GoPro feed. Number 3 is my main camera feed, which is my Sony a5100 right there. Okay, so, and this basically is what's controlling my audio as well, which is why I'm not having any syncing issues with my audio at the moment. Okay, and then right now I have my Stream Deck is programmed to do a lot of what these buttons do. This thing basically handles all the processing power. I'm streaming directly from this. I'm not streaming through the computer right now or through StreamYard. This is actually where I started the stream by hitting the on-air button. And then the Stream Deck has a lot of the buttons fed here. So I have my preview buttons. Basically, once I hit my auto button, it switches to whatever my preview is. Then I have my main buttons up here, and down here I have all my OBS buttons. So it seems a bit complicated, but it's not so bad. So for instance, if I hit this button here, it pops up my, hit that like button or hit that subscribe button and ding the bell for notifications. So it's pretty cool that I can put macros in and stuff like that. So I've got a splitter here that I have to hook up yet for an HDMI so that I can switch between, because sometimes I do want to go on StreamYard. I'm going to switch back over here. Sometimes I do want to go on StreamYard to join people's streams, so I'm going to have an HDMI splitter so that I can actually run StreamYard through some of this stuff as well. But yeah, it's a big learning curve, but really improved. Oh yeah, I can add sound effects. So through my mixer here that I just showed you, I'm only using one channel of a 8 channel mixer. So that mixer will eventually control my stream music. I need to get music on it, but I just need to get a couple other plugs to go in, and then it'll control my music. I can put sound effects, I can put video effects, all sorts of stuff that I can run through this thing. So it's just a matter of educating myself to learn all this stuff. So another exciting thing coming up. This just arrived to me today. I don't know if anybody is familiar with this. This is another project. I got to start printing the parts for it. But this is for those of you that might have seen it, it is a Vector Finesse. It's the Vector Finesse headphone kit. So we are going to be building this. I got to print my parts for it. From everything that I have heard, this is incredible sound. Some of the best sounding headphones people have used, etc., etc. So this just arrived today. So that's another project coming up. Got to do some PETG printing for it. But I'm excited for this too. So, man, I got a busy fall / 2023 coming up. So, what do I use for my other cameras? Oh, okay. Well, good point. Let me show you that. Good question, Steve. So I have, actually, you know what's better? I'm going to switch back. I have a desktop camera here. And I can show you this camera. This one I haven't used in a couple days, but so that's why my wire's a little bit kerfuffled here. So I have this camera here. This I got off of AliExpress, I think it was. It's just a little, it's a great little camera. It's manual focus. It's got an iris for adjusting your exposure on. So I'll show you what this one looks like. This was like about a $130 camera. This has a lens that goes from, what is the zoom on this lens? This is a 2.8 to 12 millimeter zoom. So I can switch to this camera. Floor camera, display overhead. Oh, do I have this camera, floor camera? No, I don't have this camera hooked up yet to show. Okay, so but that's one of the cameras. It's just not hooked up. It's not in my system yet. So I will move around with this, which might get a little bit dizzying, but hey, it's good. So we have the A5100 right here, which is my main camera right now. We have that little one I showed you. I have a little GoPro here that I'm going to start using for something. I just need to get a good stand for it. Oh, the manual focus is great on that, and I'll show you the other one. Up above for my overhead, I don't know if you can see it too well, but I have... it's called the OBS bot camera. It's right there. It's also a gimbal camera, and that's what I'm using for my overhead camera. Okay, so let's come back this way. Woo. I know I'm confusing the heck out of this poor little camera. The camera you're seeing me use right now is the Insta360 Link. It's a great little camera. The quality on it is incredible. So it's to me it's a DSLR quality to a point. So let's switch back to my main one. This is the A5100. Now I have a floor camera that I use, and so we'll pull this over. And I'm still, I should have everything all settled and working a whole lot better soon. Let me just pop this off. Whoa. Come on, it's on a big tripod right now, and there it is. There we go. Okay. So this is very similar to the other one I showed you. So this is my little floor camera. That's what I use to sort of wander around the floor. Now this one has a 5 to 50 millimeter lens on it. And again, it's manual focus, and it's got an aperture control right here as well. This one I can show you. Floor camera here. Oh, hang on. It's it's frozen in OBS. I've just got to reset this camera in OBS. Give me 1 second. I have to go in and I have to double click. I have to deactivate this camera and then activate it again, and we're good to go. It hasn't been used in a bit, and I've been booting and rebooting and so forth. So okay, so now I can switch over to this. So this is the view that you're going to get from the floor camera. So let's look at the panel there, for instance. Now, if I'm just going to see, I need to see this on the big screen, but I can, so I can manually focus. So there we go. If I focus right in, it's not a bad image at all. And it gives pretty decent quality color and everything. So manual focus, I can turn this ring here. I can brighten it up if I want. So that's obviously too bright. And then I can turn it down and I can darken it right to black if I choose. Okay, and so this is, are we zoomed in? So that's zoomed in full pretty much now, if I, or out. So if I zoom in and manually focus it in, I can get in pretty close compared to where, you know, and then I can lighten that up, darken, I can lighten that up a little bit if I want to lighten it up when I'm zoomed in on that. So you can get some pretty good detail in there, zoomed in on that. And I'm a good 2 feet away from that board. It's not quite focused yet. Sorry about that. I need a bigger pre-display monitor. There we go. That should be nice and sharp right now. I think I can tell. Yeah, that's reasonable. You can almost read that card, the ARM, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, so that's not bad. Let's switch back. Now, so that's this guy. It's a USB camera, comes with a standard tripod mount, yada yada. So you have your zoom ring, your focus ring, and your aperture ring, I guess, to adjust the amount of light going in. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm dealing with now. The downfall to having these is the ATEM Mini Pro. It only accepts HDMI camera input. So which is what I have 2 of right now. But fortunately, it can take the feed from my GoPro via my computer, because the computer can act as a camera in a sense. So it can be a computer, it can be a display, it can be whatever. So there's a lot of cool things that can be done with that. So, so theoretically, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras, which I don't necessarily use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras, which I don't necessarily use them all the time. I've got an old, up over here, I have an old, that's an old Logitech Brio, which I've been using to sort of show off what's going on the 2.4 over there. So yeah, but I got to organize this a little bit more. This never used to be my main camera. I was using the Insta360 Link, but now that I've got this ATEM in the board and I can plug in my HDMI directly, I no longer need to use the Elgato Cam Link for that camera, because the ATEM Mini takes care of converting that signal and everything, and it works really well. I think that's a great image we're seeing on screen right now. So anyways, that's kind of the setup in a nutshell for now. Yeah, and we're always trying to improve it. I think I've got my sound down to a science now where the sound is really good. I've got it on a boom arms, and the mic is just above my head here, and I can see by my meters that I'm not overly modulating on it. I am hitting the red a little bit there, so I may have to tweak that down a bit, but I can actually tweak that down a little bit right on this board here. There we go. Oh, maybe that's a little too low. There we go. Anyways, that's it. That's all. I'm going to, I don't have an outro or an intro yet. I'm working on that this week to get those outros and intros in here. It's not as easy as doing it in StreamYard, but once it's in, I can get some pretty cool graphics effects going on in this thing. So I'm hoping to get all that set up within the next week or 2 or 3. So important stuff first. The build is the important part. Getting this build going, getting this build done. So yeah, and we made good progress tonight. We built the Clockwork 2. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty funky. I'm not happy with that yellow cover. I may reprint this cover. So we'll see. I may reprint that in I don't know, purple. I just don't like that it clashes. Anyways, whatever, we're good. So that's it. I don't have anything to say thanks for watching other than thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go get some sleep, and you guys do the same. Steve, appreciate you coming in. I appreciate everybody coming in, and we'll talk to you guys later on. There's no exit. It's just going to be me going frozen. So let's see if this actually works. If I push this one button on the stream deck, it should end my stream. So have a good night, everybody. Take care. Talk to you guys later. Bye for now.